You know, just to compete at that level, I needed to be all in.
Intense, determined, gritty. Those are just a few ways to describe an Arkansas racing legend.
Mark Martin stays there.
And now,
Mark Martin alongside Dale Earnhardt.
in victory lane. He is saluting the crowd, and the crowd is saluting him.
In a career that spanned more than 4 decades, Martin sped towards title after title, winning on the NASCAR circuit 40 times, being named one of the top 50 drivers of all time, and reaching immortality, being enshrined in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Man, this is great. Arlene and Matt, I wish y'all could have been here. This Valvoline team, Ford, it's just great. I mean, it's just meant to be.
We've talked to each other several times. We've talked at the Texas Motor Speedway. We've talked in Batesville at your museum. But I always come across this picture. Tell me what this picture represents to you.
That's one of the most significant wins of my career. I'm 18 years old right there, still living in Batesville. That's Rockford, Illinois. That's the 12th annual National Short Track Championship. I was just a kid, just getting started. And that race had all the national greats at it, and to win that race actually was a surprise. You know, it was an epic win, and one of my top 5 wins of my entire career.
Let's get behind the wheel of a car, right? Or some kind of car, some kind of vehicle. How about that?
Let's go. I raced because that was the only thing that I was really good at. So I found that early, at 15 years old, that I was pretty good at it, and it's nice to be. That's really the biggest thing that I miss about racing, is I miss being good at something.
He has won 4 in a row. Mark Martin continues to eat into the points lead of Dale Earnhardt for the 1993 NASCAR Winston Cup Championship.
So I've been in a NASCAR simulator, but how bad is a NASCAR wreck? It's got to be, I got to say, it's got to be hell.
Some of them hurt. A lot of them didn't hurt as bad as they looked. But I had probably a dozen that were extremely painful. But you got to think, that's out of hundreds of wrecks. So I think it was 94 at Talladega. I got into someone's accident at the end of a tri-oval, and at 190 miles an hour, I was no steering, no brakes, and I went through the infield and went through a guardrail, and right before I went through the guardrail, I was afraid I was going to die, because I had a friend just a couple years before that, a racer, tangle with a guardrail, and the guardrail came inside and killed him. And so that was going through my mind. I went through the guardrail and went through a chain link fence. So yeah, and that did hurt a little bit. So we get back there for the next race, and that guardrail is a concrete wall.
Oh my.
That would have been a non-survivable wreck.
Today, Mark has moved on from the fast lane. Now retired, he and his family have relocated from the northeast corner of the state and his hometown of Batesville to our area right here in northwest Arkansas.
It's kind of the shift there. Like, you can be just chill and relax now.
Yeah, and I love it. You know, I have loved being retired. It certainly took some adjusting to find my niche, find, where my passions were, because I've not had anything outside of racing since I was 15 years old. And so, for 40 years. So, I had to kind of reconnect with the person that I was before I started racing.
I want to go back to the uniqueness of Bentonville for a minute, and we're sitting here in the Big on Bentonville golf cart, and this is, I don't know about you, you've traveled a lot more than I have. This is pretty special.
It's really special. It's special to have a driver. I love it. That makes it even more relaxing. This is really a chill. It's such a great, great area right here. The square is, and it's sort of a different pace than. Doesn't feel like it's the high pace that you have.
You're not going 180 miles an hour, turning left.
Yeah.
Now, Mark can't put the racing world entirely in his rearview mirror. He and his son Matt have been working on a book. It's about racing, family, and telling stories that many of us have never heard. As for the title,
Never Lift. And the reason for that is my dad, there's a lot in the book in the beginning about my dad. He was my hero. He was something else, quite a character. And he kind of lived by that. He was wild. And he believed that if you were going to wreck, stay in the gas.
Oh my God.
Speed will overcome. Just think of it. Just think. If you're going to go in the ditch, if you go in at 40 miles an hour, it's bad.
Yeah.
If you go in at 140 mile an hour, you might just clear that thing. I mean, he's that crazy. He was crazy.
You're talking about 40 wins on the big circuit, 5 runner-ups when it comes to the season title. When you talk about those intensity, determination, grit, how proud are you of your career and the fact that these are the things that people associate with Mark Martin?
Well, it does make me proud. All I can say is, if they think that's me, they should have known my dad.
Mark Martin stays there, saluting the crowd, and the crowd is saluting
Mark
him.
Martin alongside Dale Earnhardt.
Mark Martin getting his second win of the year.
Mark Martin in victory lane here for the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
He was 10 times over, as gritty and determined and all. There were drivers that were more talented than I, but I knew that I could beat them if I outworked them, and so we did that. We worked hard.